that's ever existed within the entirety of the universe. Even Satan bows down to the order of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay, the spiritual demon Satan bows down to, he does what the Most High does. But you give this man an instruction: don't go out there and defile the earth. Okay, don't spill out there oil within the ocean. That's not going to be beneficial to the earth. What does he go out there and do? He does exactly that. Don't go out there and split an atom if you don't know how to put it back together. What does he do? He goes out there and feeds you science. Okay, and tells you what are the benefits of splitting those atoms, and 100,000 years after today, okay, that same atoms that he has split, okay, is going to be defiling the whole earth for all that period of time. Because this man ain't, like I said, he ain't civilized. They ain't nothing intelligent about this man. He is the destroyer of the earth, and unless the Lord comes back, okay, all flesh is going to be destroyed. But we know from the scriptures that the Lord was going to come back, and he's going to take down all of this place that you know right now, and he's going to reestablish the 12 tribes of Israel as the ruling class, and they was going to rule, okay, in righteousness. Okay, so let's finish up this scripture, and then I'm going to go to the book of Revelations, the 11th chapter, because that goes hand in hand with Jeremiah, the 28th chapter. Because when you're speaking about peace and war, man, you do that to the point that you do that to the end that what? The people that are hearing you fear, and they turn back unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Because as you read within the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, what does it say? It's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble. But when Jacob's trouble was going to come on the scene, the Lord said that he was going to be saved out of it. So here it is, you got it to where you got these terrible times that are coming up, and the Most High's got balance, and he's going to have it to where what? There's going to be salvation playing out at the same time. Okay? So let's go now into the scriptures, finish up Mark the 13th chapter, and then we go to Revelations the 11th chapter, Ezekiel 36, Ezekiel 37, and then Thessalonians. Okay? And we shall hear wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubles, for such things must needs be. We're in a time of rumors of wars, but the end is not yet. Okay? For nation shall rise up against nation. That's why you got the Russians coming up against the Americans, and so on and so forth happening on a geopolitical scene. Okay, that's why you got people out there within Syria, okay, bombing the hell out of each other, okay, what you know as proxy wars, okay, because that goes back onto the scriptures where it talks about rumors of wars. We're in a time of rumors of wars, okay, but rumors of wars is going to turn into wars, okay, it's going to trade wars, hot wars, all of them kind of things is going to come on earth, because those were all the necessary mechanisms, okay, for the Lord to come back and deliver his people. Okay, he was going to deliver his people, okay, in a time of wars. That's why it talks about in the last trump. What's that trump talking about? Okay, it's talking about when war is being played out. You was going to have it to where an alarm was going to be sounded within a sea. Okay, that's why the scripture says that what talks about what if the trumpet be playing an uncertain sound, how was the people going to be warned? And we're that trump speaking to our people to get prepared for what the Lord's bringing on the earth. And if they was to get prepared, the Lord was going to deliver them. But for the ones that don't turn back onto Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, they're going to be destroyed, man. Okay? So, be in no trouble, for such things must needs be. Okay, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrow. Okay? But we know that the Lord's going to have mercy upon his people. That's why we're provoking them through the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, through the fear of war, okay, pestilences, that they return back unto the Lord. And you're seeing it to where what? You're seeing it to where a whole bunch of people are returning to the knowledge, okay, that they're the Israelites. But just the knowledge that you're the Israelites ain't gonna save you. Okay, you go back onto the scene when the Lord was on the scene. They knew that they was Israelites. Okay, they knew that they was the 12 tribes of Israel. But the Lord didn't have mercy upon them Pharisees and the Sadducees, them different sects that wasn't getting down with the program. You're gonna know you're an Israelite and get down with the program. Okay, the program that the Lord has set forth. You can't know, oh, I'm an Israelite, let me eat this pork sandwich. The Lord's gonna have mercy on me because I'm an Israelite. It don't work like that. Okay. So the Most High had it to where what? Now the word's going out there, okay, and you're returning back onto the knowledge, and the people that get down with the order, we're going to see that within the book of Amos, the ones that get down within the order, the Lord's going to have mercy upon them. The ones that don't get down with the program, the Lord's going to put them to death. That's why the scripture says that what? Those mind, okay, because they know they're the Israelites, those mind which will not that they should, I should reign over them. In other words, they're rebellious. And we know through the scriptures that the rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. And we know the wages we know the punishment of witchcraft is to be put to death. So those men that which which will not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me, basically means these guys are witches, man. Okay, they're rebellious. Okay, and that's likened unto witchcraft. Before the Lord was going to put those guys to death. But the guys that get down with the programs, the Lord was not only going to have mercy upon them, but he was going to establish a throne and the kingdom, okay, with them ruling. We're going to see that within the scriptures before we get into Esau, which is going to be in the book of Thessalonians, okay? So in Revelations 11 and 8, it says, and their dead bodies, okay, dealing with the Israelites, okay, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, okay, and we're not talking about physically dead here, we're talking about spiritually dead. When you go into the book of Proverbs, okay, it tells you that the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Now, we ain't talking about understanding a science book or a biology book here. We're talking about the understanding of the scriptures. So when we had it to where the knowledge of the scriptures was taken away from us, okay, the fear of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, we was in the congregation of the dead. The Most High did away with us. So our spiritual backing wasn't there. So we was going out there into war with no spiritual backing, and these different heathen nations were taking us down, carrying us away into captivity, carrying us away into hardcore slavery, okay, building up their empire. But when you had it to where via Jeremiah, the 28th chapter on the 8th verse, the prophets are coming back on the scene, these dead bodies was going to be what? They was going to return back onto their power, and they was going to live, man. Remember, the scripture says it is the spirit that quickeneth. What does the word quicken mean? Okay, the word quicken means to make alive. So if the spirit quickeneth, the spirit which is the words that the Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai was speaking, and therefore had it to where his servants, the prophets, was going to speak, that's what was going to quicken the people, that was going to make them alive. That's what was going to happen now, man. You're going to have it to where the nation of Israel was going to be raised up by the prophets of the Lord. That's going to be a good scripture to read after this within the book of St. John 6 and 63. Okay, so it says here, and their dead body shall lie down in the street of the great city, okay, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Okay, so what's this great city that's known as spiritually Egypt and spiritually Sodom? That's America. Okay, because you got all kind of sodomy happening up in there. We know it's Egypt because you got Memphis out there. Memphis was an Egyptian city. You got all kind of phalluses and pyramids out there. You look on the dollar, what do you have? You have Egyptian symbology. So what is this place talking about? Okay, it's talking about America. So you go out there into America, you're out there in New York somewhere looking for these dead bodies, you can't find them. Well, they're known as the walking dead, man. Okay, they're out there. Okay, they think they're African American. They think they're Hispanics. Okay, but they're the nation and the people of the Lord. And in returning back unto the Lord, they was gonna be alive. Okay, because the life that you're living underneath the so-called white man, that ain't life, man. You go out there, you punch in the clock, you come back home, you try to raise your kids, but you know your kids are gonna grow up, under the ways of Rome. Okay, and they're gonna be all kind of messed up. Okay, grandma's got cancer and all kind of craziness. Okay, so that ain't life. But in returning back onto Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, you was actually gonna have the option. You was gonna have it to where you can actually live life. Okay, so it says that which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also the Lord was crucified, and they, people and kindred and tongues, shall see their dead bodies. So you had it to where all kind of people. When America was built up, man, that was seen as the place to be, man. Okay, because you had all kind of opportunity. It was truly the land of opportunity, man. Okay, whenever you have it to where an empire or a kingdom is growing, okay, there's always all kind of opportunity, okay, to go up into that place. I have it to where you set up a business, and over time that business was gonna grow, okay. But once something is established, the only way it can go is to go down. That's the same thing that applies for America right now. Yeah, it ain't booming. It ain't a booming economy now. It's a descending economy because it's established now and it's going down. But prior to that happening, prior to the 70s and that's spoken about within the book of Obadiah. Okay, because when the scripture says that when they was going to reach the when they was going to nest there amongst the stars, which is when they sent those chariots out there, their so-called moon landing. Okay, which never happened. But when they supposedly did that, that's when they started going down, man. Okay, that's when they started going down. But prior to that, you had all kind of people coming into that land. It was known as a melting pot. Okay, and what was they doing when they saw these Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans? They were rejoicing because this nation of people had tormented all of the nations upon the face of the earth. Because when the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are in their right state of mind, what happens, man? Okay, the Lord's with them, and we was going to do certain things to these nations. We're going to put them in slavery. We was going to tell them to do what we want them to do. Okay, So we had it to where Edom, okay, was under subjection underneath us, okay. And that's why they came back with wrath, because during the time of King David, man, we was throwing Edomites off of mountaintops for sport. Okay, so they came back with a certain amount of wrath, but guess what? We're the chosen of the Most High. We can do whatever the hell we want to do. Okay, in accordance to the law, and so him avenging himself. Okay,
Can't sing.
all right, okay.
Boston United, Boston United.
Okay, all right, and then throwing them off of the cliffs and all of that, they came back and they wanted to avenge themselves or whatever. Okay, but see, the Most High was still gonna have it to where they was gonna receive double for what they had done unto us. Okay, so let's go back onto the scripture right here. It says, and they people of kindred and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3.5 days, which is the 350 years of hardcore slavery. You had all kind of people coming back and forth, and they're saying, look, this is supposed to be the people of the Lord. Okay, because all the high-ranking people of the different nations, whether it be out there with amidst the Elamites, okay, amidst the Moabites, they know who the people of the Lord are. Now, their so-called underlings might not know, okay, but the top guys out there within them nations know, because they got the records. Okay, they got the records of King David, okay, destroying the nation of Edom. They got the records of Moab, I'm just guessing now, okay, of Moab coming up against Israel and us destroying Moab. Okay, just an example. I don't actually remember if that's a correct example. Okay, but they got all of those records, so they know who the people of the Lord are. And they saw us being in hardcore captivity for the 350 years. They was rejoicing over that, man, because they was thinking, oh, this is, oh, wow, yeah, now we can really do what we want to do. Okay, but guess what the Lord's going to do? He's going to raise those same people up by way of the prophets, and they was going to return and have all of them nations in hardcore slavery, man, especially the 12 tribes, especially the nation of Edom. Okay, let's finish this scripture up. It says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice. They was rejoicing. They was happy, man. Okay, make merry and send gifts one to another, because these two prophets, the nation of Israel, the house of Israel, the house of David, okay, these two prophets tormented them that dwell upon the earth. And after 3.5 days, 350 years, okay, the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai entered into them. And as we're going to see within the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, as well as Psalm 6 and 63, as we're going to see, man, that spirit quickeneth, man. It made us alive. Okay, the returning back unto Yahweh Shemi Shai made us alive, man. To the end now, we're looking at this man and saying, look, your kingdom is going to be destroyed. Boldly, we're saying that. Your kingdom is going to be destroyed. Okay, you're going to bow down to us. Okay, and you ain't going to rule forever. Remember, the scripture says within the book of Job, the Most High set up his bounds, and he cannot pass that. So if the Most High had it to where, today, that's the last day. Well, guess what? That's the last day. The curtain's closed. Show's over. Okay, now it's time for a new show, a righteous show. Okay, with the 12 tribes of Israel, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, all the scattered. Okay, all the scattered. Okay, being the principal rulers. Okay, they're gonna be the bankers. They're gonna be the ones that are orchestrating what happens with agriculture, which is dealing with farming. Okay, and they was going to administer a judgment and righteousness. Okay, so after 3.5 days, the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai entered in unto them. Okay, and they stood up on their feet, and that's what we're doing right now, man. We're standing up on our feet. Okay, and that's why this thing, okay, is blowing up to the end that the apostle thinks that what the number's gonna be simple, because you're gonna do it. This video is gonna go out there, Lord's voice is gonna go out there on the internet. Okay, and people's gonna see that. Okay, and they're gonna talk about it, and they're gonna spread this word. And remember, this word really before anything was word of mouth. Okay, now you go to the internet, the videos get uploaded, now word of mouth, man, it's just exponential. Okay, so we're really, we're the last days of the last days, man. Okay, when you really think about it. Okay, so then let's carry on with this. Hey, what's up, sweetheart? You okay? Yeah? What's your name? Okay, we're the last days of the last days. Okay, and after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of the Lord from the Most High entered unto them, and they stood up on their feet. Okay, and great fear fell upon them that saw. Okay, now let's go into the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. Okay, and then I'll go to Ezekiel, the 30. I want to go to Jeremiah. I want to go Isaiah, the 6 and 63. Then I go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. Then Ezekiel 36 and 37. Then Thessalonians. Okay, so Isaiah 6 and 63. No, Isaiah 6 and 63. John 6 and 63. Okay, John 6:63, it says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Okay, so when we getting these words out of the scriptures and they're going out there unto the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, and they're going out there unto the people of the elect of the Most High, okay, they was going to be quickened. And we went into this word just a second ago. The word quicken means to make alive. So after 350 years, okay, of hardcore slavery, you had it to where certain guys had come on the scene through the administering of the Lord, going back onto the first scripture, Jeremiah 28:8. Okay, they came back in the old spirit of saying, look, hold on a minute, we're the people of the Most High. Okay, this man is the man of sin. Okay, let's get back right with the Most High, and the Most High is going to take this man down. So you had that happening after 350 years of hardcore slavery. Okay, that's why you had the elders. Okay, the apostles before the apostles. Okay, which taught the apostles, and then generations on down to the point that we're at right now, which is the last days of the last days. Okay, they came back in the same spirit of saying, hold on a minute, this is what the scripture is saying, but I've been told something different within these churches. I've been told a lie within these religions, because they'll pick certain scriptures, they'll totally mangle it and have you believe that something that what the scripture is speaking about is completely different. Okay, have it to where you think you're gonna die out there before you go out there into heaven. No, man, heaven and earth is gonna be played out up on the earth. Okay, and this is the so-called white man's heaven, which is also the so-called black man's hell. Okay, and the Most High is gonna flip the script to where you go to where it's gonna be the men of Israel. Okay, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and the scattered. Okay, it's gonna be their heaven, but it's gonna be hell on hot wheels for especially you Edomites, and the nations are gonna receive their judgment too. Okay, so John 6:63, it says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, so the words that the Most High gave unto us to speak unto the 12 tribes of Israel, they are spirit and they are life. Okay, that's why you have it to where now what? The dead bodies that were out there, four corners of the earth, they're waking up to what? To the foreknowledge of who they are, and to the fear of Yahweh Shemi outside, because nothing happens without the fear of Yahweh Shemi outside. You just know you're an Israelite out there in McDonald's somewhere eating a Big Mac with bacon. They ain't gonna be leading to salvation. They ain't gonna be leading even unto your own health. They ain't even food, man. Okay, the Most High has told you what's food and what's outside of food. Okay? Then let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. Then I go into Ezekiel 36, 37, and then Thessalonians. Okay? So Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. So after the prophets have come on the scene, okay, you was gonna have to read the prophets, okay, and the righteous man was gonna stand in great boldness, okay, confessing the name Yahweh Shemi outside as the supreme ruler. Okay, like I said, this man's got God complex. Here it is, you got it to where great kings have come upon the earth. Okay, through the seed of Israel. Okay, great kings of kingdoms have existed. Okay, and they were all underneath what? They was all underneath the order of Yahweh Shemi outside. They was underneath that rule. They was in it to, you know, they glorified the rule of the Lord, man. They embraced the Lord. Okay, they went out there to establish the Lord. Matter of fact, when you check out the scriptures and you see which kingdoms really was advanced in splendor, okay, and wealth, you find out the older righteous kingdom, King David, King Solomon, okay, and certain other individuals that whether they had repented after being rebuked by one of the prophets of the Lord or whatever, when it was a righteous rule, man, those kingdoms flourished. Now you got to where you got this man in rulership right now, and he's completely gone the way of Canaan. Okay, he's completely gone his own way. Okay, and he set himself up as the Most High, and that's in his mind he thinks he's God. Okay, and so what? Yahweh Shemi outside is that's a secondary, if not even a third thought in his mind. Okay. But now you go to where what? The righteous man is standing in great boldness, confessing the name Yahweh Shai, okay? And that was going to have certain repercussions, man. That's why when you go back onto the book of Mark, the 13th chapter, it says that what? Certain men was going to have to be put to death. Okay, if I'm part of that, I pray Yahweh Shemi outside, man, I take it like a man, okay? Because you read within the book of Maccabees, you find out certain individuals had to be put to death for a witness of the law and a testament of Yahweh Shai. You find out that. Okay, and they died fearing Yahweh Shemi outside. Because like I said, nothing happens unless you fear the Lord. You're gonna have a lot of guys out there that know that they're Israelites. Okay, they're gonna take the chip. Okay, all right, so that they can survive in those days, man. That's not the people of the elect. That's not the Most High's elect. The Most High's elect was gonna be faithful unto death. Okay, And these is the people that the scripture speaks about here. That's why it talks about boldness. Okay? So it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him. We're in the faces of such as afflicted us, man. Whether it be through the money system or a rigged system where only, ain't no Negro, Hispanic, and Native American benefiting out there within this system, man. You might have it where you got a handful, okay, they have to sell out or something like that. Okay, now they're doing a so-called all right, okay? But the fact of the matter is, this is a system that's set up against you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, because this isn't your kingdom, man. This is your hell, okay? You read the scriptures within the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. It speaks about what? It speaks about it speaks about how that you was gonna have no ease amidst these nations, okay? Whether whether you was gonna be, you was gonna be cursed within your basket, which is what you store up. Okay, you're just gonna be cursed out there within the field, which means you're gonna be last hired than the first fired. Okay, this is what the scriptures prophesied about the last days for the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, and even in those last days, the Most High said that he was gonna speak boldly against those against your rulers. Okay, so it says there, Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. And when they shall see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. They're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation, because our salvation is going to happen when they're warring against each other, and they finally decide, hold on a minute, okay, there's a big-ass chariot within the sky. Okay, this is, I'm telling you the story of Isaiah. It was the 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. In fact, I could get it now. Okay, when they see that big-ass chariot within the sky, okay, they're going to decide, hold on a minute, let's not fight against each other. We're going to fight up against this extraterrestrial entity, okay, that's going to take us out of power, okay? When you check out these different records that they've got, they said, look, we can fight up against each other, but if we have to fight a being that's from outside of this earth, we're going to have to join forces, okay? 2nd Ezra 13:1, it says, and it came to pass, after 7 days I dreamed a dream, and lo, a wind rose from the earth, from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof,